Now, whether or not you believe, or you do believe, that societal expectations, have a great impact into your life, it really does, either way you put it. You're born in this world that puts you in this box where you don't know what you're capable of, but society inherently knows what you're capable of, only due to the fact that you look a certain way or you were born in this certain environment. But that's not true, man. So I want to go ask a couple people if they agreed with me, and if they didn't, and why. Because I truly do believe that societal expectations and social norms do have a great impact into our lives. But enough yapping. Let's start with...
All right, welcome back to the Asian Guy Podcast, or AKA Talk with a Filipino. And I'm here with a special guest by the name of Arya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So this week's topic is, how does societal norms contribute to people's lives? And I want to know, how do societal norms contribute to your life? Good or bad,
I should have came with something prepared.
No, that's all right.
You want to whittle down the question a little bit?
Yeah.
An example of a specific.
For me, most people think that I'm inherently smart, considering the fact that I'm Asian.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a whole bunch of societal boxing that happens, right? I mean, especially in this country, it seems like you're almost chosen for that, right? I mean, I come from. Yeah, I'll speak to that one. I come from. I'm biracial. I'm half Indian and half Persian.
Really?
Yeah. We both fall into a model minority myth of our own box.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Indians fall into. When my dad came to this country, he was working a low-paying job under people that didn't value him, but they only valued him for his skills on the computer. Right? You box yourself into those sort of jobs, but you don't really have any sort of say anywhere else, right? It's like you come here for a service, right? It's basically blue collar work in a skilled position, right? So, yeah, I mean, those effects really trickled down to me, I guess, when, you're a first generation son of immigrants, right? And it's I talked to a lady from my elementary school, a mother of one of the kids, and she's like, yeah, I knew you would go into engineering. I mean, you were always,
wow, okay.
You were always more math oriented. Right?
Wow.
So it's why couldn't I have gone in? I could have been a history major.
Exactly.
I could have been I could have been a music major. I mean, it's not like my parents would have let me, to be honest, but, I had to go into STEM, but still.
Personally, I tried to be a music major, but that didn't pan out. I just immediately went to nursing because, that's how, Filipinos get, easy money per se nowadays. But that's, the box that you specifically referring to in our domain per se.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of boxes that you have to deal with. I think, boxes aren't necessarily bad because, I think there's an argument that we created these boxes for ourselves, right? Or maybe when the boxes were there, we were very eager to come and fill in those positions, right? So, when people say, okay, I'll take my Indian side,
right.
We're STEM people, we're computer people, they're going to be doctors, they're going to be engineers, they're not going to do much more than that. They're not going to really involve themselves in politics.
Right.
They're not, the kids aren't really going to get a choice as to, you're not going to see an Indian football player or something like that, even though we got some kids that are pulling their weight, right? We really, that's a stereotype, that's a box that we exist in, but it's not all untrue.
Right.
So, there are things that we use to be competitive in this country, right? And, those aren't necessarily bad, but it's, it's understanding how can we move forward and create something for maybe, our generation or the generations after us, because most of us were first generation immigrants, right?
Right.
But, our kids won't have, the learning process that we had to go to.
Exactly, yeah,
so
you're right.
I think, we'll have to break down those boundaries ourselves, right? Our parents got their feet into the door, right? We got into the room, and then our kids are going to live there, right? So it's
It's a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what we do, and yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, any other questions?
I mean, I honestly was a great answer. Out of all the people that I've interviewed, I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, me personally, I've been pushing this whole thing because the whole stereotypical thing, how like referring to what I was saying back earlier, how like Asians and Indians and all that were specifically catered to just STEM works, jobs, and all that stuff. And I wanted to push that. You can push that boundary,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to do that as well by educating people through
Mhm.
my podcast and all
Mhm.
that. Because if you put yourself in the box, what potential do you have for yourself? Like, are you just gonna stay in like the middle ground and just like give up on what you want to prosper in, or just
I feel like
forget about that?
I'll give another analogy. When
Mm.
you plant like like a small like a small tree, right? You can't, if you're planting it from a seed, you can't directly plant it into the ground that you're planning on putting the tree in. I mean, you can, but it's not how you usually cultivate it. You cultivate it first in a small pot, right? The small, you get the seedling out, right? You get, you know, the tree taking some form so that it can hold its own once it does move, right?
Right.
Like that's analogous to the box, right? That's where we were able to exist in. But then once you move into the larger place where we eventually want to exist, we needed to establish ourselves somewhere before doing that,
That's true.
right? So I think a box is useful, right? Like again, like Asians in STEM. That's a good one, right? I mean, like even you know when we're talking about college for us, right? I mean, like we're so common in STEM that things like affirmative action work against us, right? I mean, that's nothing wrong with it. That's just like how you know uh, the population works for Asians and STEM, right?
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Eventually, I think just like as things play out, as people understand that STEM isn't all we can do, right, or all we have to do. I mean, I think people are doing that right now, to be honest. So I think it was probably better than it was 15 years ago, and 15 years from today, who knows how it'll be, So
All right.
yeah.
Well, that's Aria for y'all, and it's an honor to meet you, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this man just came out of nowhere, asked me for an interview. I was like, this guy's gonna get me on TikTok.
Well, more like YouTube, but maybe TikTok. I don't know.
Maybe TikTok.
Maybe TikTok. All right. Well, next person. All right. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I have a wonderful guest by the name of
Shane,
All right. Nice to meet you, Shane.
nice to meet you.
It's a wonderful day we're having today.
It
For
is.
sure.
It is.
For sure. Where are you flying to?
I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm flying to San Jose, California today.
Oh, you're flying to California as well?
Yep.
That's great. That's great.
Yep.
What you doing in California?
My mom lives in Los Gatos, so I'm going to visit her.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So here in this podcast, we like to discuss like different topics from week to week, and this week's topic, as I've said earlier, is how societal norms have contributed to people's lives, and good or bad, and how is that contributing to your life?
Sure. So I think my response is that my family is from Greece, and I'm from the United States. I'm American, and
Right.
so it kind of, I feel like the norms in Europe and in Greece are different from the norms in the US, and it's
For
kind of
sure.
challenging to know kind of which, like you were saying about Asian heritage, which path to go down. Like, should I go down the traditional route that's more rigid and strict, or should I go down the American, which are more open and accepting? And so kind of wanting to stay true to your heritage, but being a modern person, it's kind of hard to balance that.
That's true. That is true. So have you found like the quote unquote middle ground between that, or have you been more leaning into one side or the other?
I think I've just fully leaned into the American kind
The
of
American side? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which I wish, my family, as they get older and older, and some of them pass away, we're losing that kind of history, and I wish I could get a little more of that. So I'm a little uneven, a little unbalanced.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Would you be willing to at least like further educate yourself into your your culture per se into Greece, as you said.
Yeah. I think learning the language, maybe that would be a start.
That's
And then
a good start, yeah.
similar to Asia, Greece has thousands of years of interesting history, and I know just a little bit. So maybe more of that research would be great.
Can you give us some, a little bit of sample of like a little bit of Greece?
Yeah, I love mythology. That's my big thing that I learned.
Oh wait,
about.
no, not that, but that's actually pretty good. But
Sure.
like language wise,
Oof.
like
I know helado is come here.
okay,
I'm trying to think. I only know a few words, and then the rest would be like tzatziki, moussaka, like dishes. That's all I can say. So very, very little.
I have a feeling you've heard that from your mom several times. That's
A million times. Yeah. The helado, come here.
yeah.
I've heard that a million times too. And then my grandmother, I figured out she had a nickname for me that I realized was a swear word a ways ago.
What was it?
It was scatu. So when I do something wrong, she would say, "You scatu," and I'm like, "Oh, rascal," or something like that. And I guess it was a heightened version of that. So I learned that at the end of her life. It was kind of funny. So you learn something new every day.
Skatu.
Yeah,
Is that like, it's like sounds kind of like French
it
almost.
does kind of, right?
Yeah,
It's like, scatuzzi, like
Yeah.
you little,
Yeah, it's kind of like has a little bit of articulation to it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice having you in the podcast.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, Shane, right?
Yes, Gabe.
Yes.
Good luck with everything, and this is amazing. Good luck with your future.
Thank you, bro. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I genuinely appreciate it. All right, next person.
Okay.
So I have a wonderful guest by the name of
Hi, my name is Laura.
Laura. That's a
Yeah.
really pretty name.
What is your name?
My name is Gabe.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right. So here in this podcast, I just like talking about like certain topics from week to week,
Okay.
and I just wanted to know how has societal norms,
Okay.
be more specific, impacted your life?
That's a very complicated question because you have like a very open theme for talk. By the way, I'm from Chile, so I'm sorry for the clumsy English.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're pretty diverse in this channel. We like keep
awesome.
we like to include everybody. We're
Oh,
very
that's
inclusive.
nice. You need to tell me your YouTube channel after so I can follow.
For sure. Thank you for the support. But I'll give you an example. So basically, I'm Asian. I grew up in the Philippines and all that, and I came here, and I immediately got the impact of how Asians are like supposedly very smart.
Okay.
Like every Asian is just like grown up to be smart, specifically in like math, science,
Yeah, that's
and all
a very
that.
stereotype you have, guys. Yeah,
Right.
That's true.
But I'm not that, but I am very hardworking. So, I get good grades, but it's not for the fact that I just know this knowledge
You,
and all
you work
that.
hard for that. Yeah, I
Right.
understand.
I work hard for that, like to get the knowledge.
Mm.
So, but that's my sort of thing about that.
For me, in my case, like I live in Chile, but I am actually from Venezuela. So, like after all the immigration on my country, like people treat us like different because we have a very movement from my country back 2016. So normally people tell us like we are hardworking, but after sometimes some different peoples went out and start to do like thief and doing bad stuff. So whenever people say that, oh, you are from Venezuela, they look at us like kind of suspicious, and it's like, man, I'm not like that. I'm hardworking.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
Mm.
Like I think people should doesn't judge people like a book by their cover. Like they should try to acknowledge them or try to know better about them.
Right. That is true.
Yeah,
Eh.
I think that's the better way. Like,
Because all people are different.
mm,
Like you can't just put them in this little box
yeah,
that most people identify you as. Like if you're Asian, you're smart. If you're from America, you have a lot of
maybe if you are Muslim, like you don't think someone for Arabic countries like think bad about them. Like
Right, because people always have like a negative thought when it comes to, you know, like Saudi Arabians, Indians, and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I get that. I get
yeah.
that.
It's kinda complicated nowadays because we have all connected. When people can reach in internet everything, like
Hmm.
different places and different countries. So it's the same with Japanese people. Like people think that going to Japan it's like a dream, but actually you have a lot of resumes there and stuff, and it's kind of crazy because we consume this material without like notice that we are making everything on a but
Right, exactly. Like the internet has kind of portrayed Japan or like some other places as like this heaven of a place, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Like this, like, oh my gosh, once I come here, like my life is gonna be like ultimate,
Also,
like
yeah.
also great and all that. But in reality, people are just enduring the same thing that you're dealing with, just in different places in the world.
That's true. That's true. Also, like in Venezuela, also we have back then. Nowadays, I don't know. Like we have the American dream.
Mm,
Like people used to migrate to here to USA for the American dream.
right, right.
Nowadays, you see, like no, it's horrible sometimes. Like it's difficult to find a decent work or to get the papers for being legal in a country.
That's true. That's true.
It's like oh, it's not like that in the movies. The American dream is not real in that point, like so easy.
Yeah, because I don't. Me personally, I don't like how some people cheat the system. Like they just come into the to the country of America, and the president, as of right now, is like accepting people like out of spite because he just feels bad for
Yeah.
their case, and that's not fair to the people. Because my family had to work hard through the actual system through it. Um, and some people just like get like these visas of them legally being here without them going through the process, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's really not fair.
That's true. And the same is on. I actually moved first on from Venezuela to Argentina, and I had to wait like 2 years for get my papers.
Mm.
Then they apply like this system, like you pay them more and you get the express. DNA is like the legal document in Argentina, and it was like, oh, dude, what? I
Um,
mean, it's cool because if you have the money, it's all nice. But it's like, what about all these people that have to do the process for 22 years and cannot
right,
do that?
exactly.
The same in Chile. After COVID, every paperwork you submit, like it got so messy. Like they lost the stuff. For example, my mom, she had to do redo everything because they put but the name of the state Trujillo from Venezuela to Trujillo to Peru.
Wow, okay,
Yeah,
wow, that is a long trip.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Just but that little mistake, she has to redo all these 2 years work again,
Mm,
and it's crazy because it's like no one can give her an answer because
mm.
even the lawyers are like, that's the problem of the guys of today and the stuff
Like,
migration. You can do anything. You just need to redo everything, and we were like, "Oh fuck, that's not nice.
yeah,
That's not nice."
that's not nice. That's like, I don't know, it's a bit unfair, like you said.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy because I mean we are paying the stuff for do the stuff in the legal way.
Hmm.
We have the contract for work in a legal way, and then you can give me an answer and you just say like, yeah, you need to do it again because
That's not
it's
really
like
right.
yeah, it's their fault, but you can do anything about that.
That's not fair on y'all's part. Like, cause y'all work really hard to get what y'all where y'all are now, and you have to like revert back to that, like go full circle.
Mhm. Mhm.
If I'm making sense.
Yeah, I know. It's kinda crazy. Like it's kinda crazy. But yeah, we need to keep working because without that we can survive. I mean, we can just be like, okay, I won't do it again. I just need to do it because I need the papers.
The whole process is like really, how can I say this? Really complicated at times
Mm.
because some people don't really know how you're dealing with the system per se. Like, reverting back to what you were saying, so maybe I have like a little bit of insight on how some people are like, you know, um not particularly being fair, which doesn't really justify it, but at the same time, I see the reasoning why.
Yeah.
Because reverting back to your story, it was it wasn't really right for them to be treating you like that. Specifically, your lawyer, you were saying.
Yeah, I
you-
mean, my mom's lawyer, like, he was doing his job. I mean, we understand that, but it was like, oh man, we need to do this again. That's not nice. But we understand because it's not their fault. Like, they just try to do their job, and shit happens.
Yeah, that is true.
And shit happens. And I think it's how each person takes the situation. Like, some people could be more mad and just say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Or just keep trying till it works. It depends on how people see life sometimes, I think.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well, it's great to have you in the podcast.
Nice
Nice to meet you.
How old are you?
I am actually 18.
You're so young. You're a baby. Wow.
Yeah.
I am 26.
Oh, you're 26.
Yeah.
8 years apart.
Yeah, you're a baby.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or not, but
I
you know.
mean, it's
I'll
at
take
my
it.
age. When someone tells you like, "Oh, you look younger," it's like, it feels nice. Because I feel old. I don't look old. I know I don't look that old.
I mean, that's like the complete opposite for me. A lot of people always think that I'm like in my 20s. Even when I was like 16 years old, people were like saying like, "Hey, are you an adult?" And I'm like, "No, bro. I'm like, I'm like 2 years like young and like I'm like way below that." So
No, you're a baby. Yeah. So keep growing and enjoy your time because after 20s, time gets crazy and you are like, "Oh my god, I'm near to 30," and
Um,
it's crazy.
Oh my goodness. Just having to think about that right now is kind of
Yeah, just focus on live your life and enjoy it as much as you can, of course, without doing bad stuff.
of course. I'm not into doing any like drugs or any all that stuff. I'm more of like creating more self-positivity and just like bettering myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
I enjoy doing that more than kind of like partying or whatever.
I mean, it's cool. It's nice to enjoy sometimes too when you have friends and that. So
Yeah,
everything
that
gives you peace. That's the important. Like,
Right,
do
exactly.
whatever it makes you happy.
exactly. All right, well, it's great to meet you
Un
again.
placer.
Your name is Laura, correct?
Yeah. In Spanish, it's more easy. Laura.
Laura.
Yeah, because in English it's like Laura, and it sounds weird.
That-
But my name is Laura.
I love that. All right, well, it was nice meeting you, and
Bye.
What a day, man. What a video. I genuinely thoroughly enjoyed this video. And also peep the picture though. Anyways, thank y'all. Thank you, Arya. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Shane, for being such nice people, for letting me interview y'all, even though you don't even know me. And I just came up to you out of nowhere with a silly mic. You decided to, be in my video. And I'm truly humbled and appreciative of that. And also, thank you to the person that's watching this. I hope you have an amazing day. And love you. Peace out, bro.